Good evening. So I'm here with my wife's Ruger Mark IV. This is a brake barrel 177 only. They do a silver with a fake wooden grips and a black one. Okay, my wife has a silver one. They're about £10 more in some places than the black one. That's the information about the pistol, all the data, very straightforward. So we'll get into the review. I don't want to be sort of have it drag on too long. I don't want anybody falling asleep, getting bored, do we? Hey? So, data sheet for cleaning the barrel and lubrication, okay, and of course the manual which tells you everything you need to know, how to cock it, how to load it, how to at safety, and it's got fully adjustable rear sights for windage and elevation, and it's got a fibre optic front sight. Okay, so here we go. This is the Ruger Mark IV. It weighs in about 625 grams, so it's got a light. It's easy to cock. See, you can basically, if you lift it like that, cock it there. I'm not going to cock this because you shouldn't dry fire an air gun, you know, a Springer or a gas ram. Okay, so the pellet goes in there like so. Rifle barrel goes from there right to the end, by the way. So it's a nice long rifle barrel. This looks good quality as well. I will give it a clean later before I do the target shooting. I have put it through the Chrony. She's out the box. She's doing about 1.6 foot-pounds. No indication that she was dieseling. There was no smoke, you know, unlike the Magnum, which was actually is still dieseling. Okay, so it seems like it's shooting at around about the 1.5 foot-pound mark. 5 shots over the Chrony. It did average 1.58 foot-pounds energy, 291 FPS, and it only had a spread over 5 shots of 4 FPS, which is very good actually, very good. That's using the Superfields 8.4 grain with a 4.52mm head. Okay, so from the back we have fully adjustable sights. So you've got elevation there, windage at the side. You'll see if you look at these sights, you'll see where it's set up, and I think you should be able to see that there, the focus right. So they're set up pretty central, and this does shoot straight. I've been hitting like tin cans consistently using the fixed sights with those pellets out to 12.5 meters. So when I do the target shoot, providing you can keep her still, she should get, I reckon, you get 5 shots probably at least inside 1.5 inches freestanding. Okay, you've got a fake hold open slide lock there. Okay, that's a fake one. Your safety's here. Okay, on and off. That's okay. So down is fire. Yeah, that's fire. Up is safe. When you cock this, that comes on automatically. So once it's on, you can actually turn it on and off, no problem. The actual build, I'm going to run through the build of this, by the way, because a lot of people have asked me the build. So this top section here is all metal. Obviously, that's metal. Obviously, the trigger's metal, the linkage, all the actual working internal parts obviously all metal, and the actual where the link goes onto there is all metal. Obviously, the barrel is all metal as well. So the only things that are plastic are this casing around the barrel and the lower frame, and obviously the fake wooden grips, which actually feel very nice. They actually feel wood, to be fair. I mean, I've seen some other wooden grips that actually do actually like the actual Schofield wooden grips that are really good quality, and they're plastics. Yeah. So yeah, fully adjustable, windage elevation. You'll see the front sight. It actually is a fibre optic, and in its present setup with those pellets, it is shooting straight. Obviously, I shoot with one eye slightly closed, like I do with a scope. That's how I shoot my pistols, and this is shooting straight. I've had no problem hitting a can out at 12.5 meters consistently, ding, 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 as long as I keep it on target. Okay. Word about the trigger. Now, Buck Mark URX. I shall show you the one I have. This is the Buck Mark URX. And there is a very strong resemblance to both of these. Internally, I think they're probably identical. Yeah. The triggers are actually different shape. The URX has a broader blade. This has a thinner blade, more like a standard trigger, where you'll see the Buck Mark is curved and thicker. That is known for having quite a heavy trigger. Yeah. There's not a lot of like a first stage play in that at all. It's more just pull it and it fires, but it's very consistent trigger. This is also a very consistent trigger. It doesn't appear out the box to be as heavy as the URX. There's not a massive difference, but I can sort of tell. And there is like a little bit of movement before it goes. It's almost like there's a small amount of first stage before it goes to second, and it'll break cleanly. So I think with use, this will improve. I'll also give it a barrel clean and also give it a grease with some Libium, and that will probably help it, like it did with the URX. Okay, so yeah, it's a bit of a shame really, because Umarex continue to put rather heavy triggers in their air pistols, like this, the URX, and a notable one, the Glock 17 dual ammo, which I have. Out the box, the actual triggers are way too heavy really, and I don't understand the need for that. I'm sure with the might of URX they can actually design a trigger sear that actually is nowhere near as heavy. And you know, I mean, I can understand wanting a trigger that's not going to be like a light hair trigger where you can knock it and it'll go off, but these triggers are way more than that. You know, way more, and it's just unnecessary, because this sort of like this sort of pistol break barrel would be ideal for a youngster starter, because they're low power, yeah, 1 to 1.5 foot-pounds energy. They're pretty easy to cock. See, yeah, I'm just using my fingers that put my thumb there at cock. So you could actually, you know, a youngster could have a lot of fun with their dad with one of these. But the downside is the weight of the trigger. And I just don't get it. I don't get why Umarex would produce something like this, which is really nice, and also the URX, which are cheap, sub £100 break barrels, which are ideal for youngsters to learn to shoot, because obviously springers, there's a technique to shooting springers, yeah, whatever springer, whether it's a rifle or a pistol, and this would be an ideal like starter pistol for a youngster to learn how to shoot and aim. But the trigger's like way too heavy for a youngster to handle. Come on, Umarex, you know, just sort out the triggers, eh? You know, half the weight at least. It's just not necessary. But apart from that, for grown-ups who can pull the trigger and keep it steady, yeah, these are great. So if you're like looking for a cheap, break barrel, yeah, just have a bit of plinking fun in the garden, yeah, low, because like I said, I'm pretty sure this will shoot out to 15 metres, and I will be doing an outdoor shooting review with this. Okay. My wife's had a shoot of it yesterday, and she's starting to get to grips with it, the trigger, and she's starting to get the pellets actually on the target at 10 yards freestanding. So yeah, she's working on that. But it's all about just taking the point to the trigger and then just keeping the pistol still while you put it the rest of the way, and it does break very consistently. There's no vagueness in the way the actual the sear breaks on these. It's just way too heavy, you know, way more heavy than it should be really. So there you go. So that is a really nice, like I said, it's got a fake ejection port and ejector there, yeah. Like I said, all this is nice metal, really nice finish, really like the grips. I've got medium hands, so you know, my fingers there, so it's pretty good. You know, you could probably get away with smaller hands as well. Nicely balanced, because it's obviously relatively light, front end's all light. Because it's all metal, the weight is actually at the grip, so it sits nicely in the hand. So yeah, I like it. My wife likes it, and I shoot the URX quite a bit as well. Okay, so I hope you like that little unboxing review, and the next job will be to take her out and do some back garden reviewing at targets, cans, and maybe even try out to 20 metres maybe, see what we can hit. Thanks for watching.